What's going on, gang? What's going on? It's your boy Phantm Phuego, Phantm Phuego, and you are tuned into the only show where you can get his news, his views, his previews, and reviews with just a twist of his ghetto point of view. Hope you guys had an amazing week. That's pretty hard at this point, I imagine. It seems like every day goes by, we losing life unnecessarily. We're losing people too young. We're losing people that have so much life left to give, so much energy that they haven't even been allowed to manifest, and so many good things they could have potentially done for the world. Even the worst, most rotten, low-down individual can, if put in the proper environment, I believe, be reformed and give good to the world. So just imagine children or young men or young adults or middle-aged adults, early 30s, mid-30s, even 40s, because 40s the new 30, 30s the new 20. With these advances in tech and medicine, if you living right and exercising, taking care of your body, etc., practicing your yoga and whatever you're doing to take care of yourself, if you're in good health and good spirits into your 30s, one, that's a blessing already, and two, you have so much life and love to give. And if you're still in that same amazing physical shape and into your 40s and 50s, you still have so much life to give, and you've already seen so much life, so you have a real perspective you can share with the world. You have some positive information that, if you so choose, you could really use to uplift folks, black, blue, white, red, green, yellow. R.I.P. to George Floyd, man. R.I.P. George Floyd. R.I.P. to Breanna. R.I.P. Sean Reed. R.I.P. to everyone who has lost their lives senselessly, whether it be at the hands of law enforcement, whether it be at the hands of another person who's a regular citizen. R.I.P. to everybody. R.I.P. to Ahmaud. If you ran with Ahmaud, salute to you. That wasn't even law enforcement. That was just people who felt they had the right to take Ahmaud Arbery's life for reasons that are still up in the air. R.I.P. to Breanna, a med tech and an EMT working at two different facilities, giving back to her community, being an essential worker during a pandemic. R.I.P. to all of them. R.I.P. to Sean Reed. That brother was young. That brother served time in the services. Whatever was going on in that brother's head and his mental space, maybe what he needed was some counseling services. Maybe what he needed was some PTSD treatment. He didn't need his life snubbed out. He didn't need his light taken away and diminished and gone. I've seen the alleged YouTube videos. I've seen people's comments, posting, shares. Whether he was armed or unarmed, we've seen situations be de-escalated because those people in law enforcement take psychology classes, criminal justice classes, and they are trained repeatedly to de-escalate situations. Law enforcement, security officers, military personnel of every branch are trained in the arts of de-escalation, and the longer you're in a particular unit, branch of service of any level of security, even down to just being an armed guard in a bank, they give you thousands and thousands of hours of de-escalation training. They do psych exams. They make you take tests. They give you evaluations before they give you firearms. And yet, with all of those measures in place, with all of these steps needing to be taken, all of those I's dotted and T's crossed, all of these checks and balances, all of these checks and balances in place, here we are. We still find ourselves here. We still find ourselves with this problem, with this issue, with this dilemma of more lives being taken, of more people being snubbed out before they can reach the peak of their excellence, the peak of their energy, the peak of what they could do to help change this world, help heal this world, help evolve this world, help grow this world, help inspire this world, help give back. It's just traumatizing, man. It's crazy. Like it puts you in just a state of frozen shock and disbelief. And then it can send you into immense anger because you're frustrated. We've already been locked inside. We've already been social distancing. We've already been trying to maintain and stay safe as elderly folks, and then young people, and now children face so many chronic conditions. We already were at a powder keg state in these United States and across the globe. And then this happens. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but repeatedly, which sets off another powder keg, and now the whole country is on fire. The entire country is on fire. The entire country is angry, and people are mad, and people have had enough, and people are no longer tolerating excuses. But it's not just the citizens who don't have badges who are angry and upset and frustrated. Many officers who are just good people trying to do their jobs are also angry and hurt and frustrated, and they have no idea what is coming next. What are they supposed to do? They have no idea. They have no clue. You see some of them out here. I'm based in New York right now. You see some of them out here in Queens and other places taking knees and trying to stand in solidarity with a knee. But it was a knee that took this man's life, so is the knee really the appropriate type of protest? We don't know what to do, any of us. We're all in a state of shock, a state of panic, a state of fear, a state of anger, a state of depression, a state of regret, a state of remorse, a state of anguish, a state of confusion. We're all in a state of absolute confusion. So many images we see flying across our screens, flying across our social media feeds. Buildings on fire, police vehicles on fire, people fighting and yelling and hurting one another. What are we gaining? What will this all turn into? What will be the final result? What is the plan? What is the plan of people like activist organizations who are now helping lead these protests and marches? What is the plan of law enforcement who now have to face these same questions repeatedly? What is the plan of the political leaders in these local areas? What is the plan of our national leadership? It can't just be to continue to downplay, demonize, and discredit people's plight of people that has been going on for far too long. Hurt of people, abuse of people, the torture of people, the ruin of people, the anguish, the heartbreak that has been going on repeatedly for far too many years. I hope you guys are having a great night. I hope you guys are staying safe, staying well, hugging your loved ones as much as you can, telling your loved ones you love them as much as you can, because these are interesting, trying times. We have no idea what's going to happen next. And it's like the whole world is literally ready to catch a blaze. What do you do in that type of environment? Some people say chaos. Some people see opportunity. Some people create chaos because in the chaos they find opportunities to take advantage of others. Some people create chaos because they find opportunities to prey on the good nature and the warm hearts of others in times of peril, in times of problems, in times of upheaval. They use those opportunities to strike, to hurt, to maim, to brutalize, to steal, to rob, to loot, to pillage, to plunder, and to torture people, to kill people, to hurt people, to beat people up, to get revenge on people, to murder people. The list goes on and on of the things that are happening right now, every minute of every day in the United States and beyond. It is very scary times. It is very beautiful outside. The poetry, you couldn't write a movie better than this. In this beautiful, warm weather, when everybody should finally be able to start to enjoy, and states are reopening slowly and safely. Now, when we get outside, we're outside throwing Molotov cocktails. We're outside breaking into buildings. We're outside violently attacking those who have violently attacked us for so long. And as Martin Luther King Jr. stated, I cannot stand here tonight and condemn the actions of those who riot without also condemning the actions of those who give them the reasons to riot. A riot is the language of the unheard. These people feel like they cannot get a message out in any other way. These people feel like their voices have been drowned out. Their voices have been muffled. Their voices have been muzzled for entirely too long. Can you blame people who feel that way when there is so much proof and evidence, even before the days of social media, across the newspapers that filled this country and others? There were countless and countless and countless and countless examples, time and time again, of men and women being snubbed out far too soon in unjustifiable circumstance. Countless examples of a justice system that seems to only work, unfortunately, for some people and not for all, as it clearly is supposed to, as it stands for. How can you be mad at the people for burning down that system? I completely understand your pain. I can understand your plight. I understand your struggle. And I stand with you. But officers of the law who are just trying to do their job, who don't do anything against the law, who stand up when someone is wrong, who has a badge on and will tell them they're wrong, because those videos exist too. Videos of cops stopping other cops from pulling firearms. Videos of cops telling other cops they're wrong, they're unjust. That was not okay. That is against the law. Videos of cops who have lost their jobs standing up against the blue wall of silence are all out there. But unfortunately, those don't get shared as much because those wouldn't fit the narrative. There are really great cops in every borough, every city, every town, every small region, every community, every city. There are good police. There are good sheriffs. There are good deputies. There are people that just want to do a good job and go home to their families as safe as they got to work. But there are also the bad apples. There are also the bad seeds. And unfortunately, there are too many who would be neutral and just allow those bad seeds to make everyone look horrible for the sake of being able to keep a job, for the sake of being able to keep a livelihood, to keep a roof over their head, to afford the Pampers for their new baby, to afford their wife's wedding ring, to afford the mortgage on their new home, to afford that beautiful vacation down to Cancun. There are far too many who will stand with that blue wall of silence, even if they personally hate what's going on, even if they personally will lash out at those officers behind closed doors. What good is it to lash out at them behind closed doors? What good is it to remain silent as they continue to do these things if you personally wouldn't do them? So many officers, black, white, blue, red, and green, are clearly showing they do not support these actions. But the problem is so many do. And what's scarier is even more than the ones who do and the ones who don't. There is a huge middle gap of people who don't know which side to be on. Of people who want to just do their job and go home and not ruffle feathers, not get their bosses mad. They have aspirations to move up the ladder. They have aspirations for politics. They have aspirations just for a good life. They just have aspirations for the American dream. Is it wrong to aspire for the American dream? Absolutely not. Is it wrong to want to just go home after a long 12, 14, 18-hour shift? I used to do security, different types of places, whether it was clubs or I actually did security at a battered women's shelter in the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. The stories for other days. That was a very, very, very interesting time in my life. I saw so many horrible tragedies, so many battered women, so many abusive relationships, so many children that needed more stable parents so they could be the best that they could be. But stories for other days. So I understand sometimes people just want to do their job, do it well, and go home. They don't want to get involved in the politics. They don't want to stick their head up out of the sand. They don't want to pull their head out of their turtle shell, so to speak. Because when you pull your head up, it is an easier target to be chopped off. The guillotine is waiting there to lop your head clean off your body. So I completely get that. Officers, sheriffs, deputies, and anybody in between that I've neglected to call out, detectives, captains, commissioners. I completely get sometimes people just want to go home, have a barbecue with their family on their day off, get ready for that vacation, plan for retirement, do your 20 to 25, and just get out. I completely understand that. But in these times, and in the past, and in the future, there will always be situations which people will have to stand up. People will have to say, no, this is not right. This is not fair. People don't deserve to be treated these ways. Will you stand up? Will you side with what is right? Will you be on the right side of history in 50 years when another generation or 2 generations later the children read about these things? Or will you be the footnote in history that's not remembered because you remain neutral? You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't take any bribes. What you did do, though, was nothing. And as it's clearly said, sometimes doing nothing is the worst thing of all. And oftentimes doing nothing is showing your allegiance to the people doing the damage, doing the harm, doing the maiming, doing the killing, doing the hurting, doing the brutalizing, doing the worst. When you say nothing, when you remain neutral, when you try to be apolitical, people get hurt. And as another Martin Luther King quote, R.I.P. to the homie, a brilliant man, great leader. It will not be the ire of our enemies that we remember in those last moments. It will be the silence of our friends. It will be the silence of our comrades. It will be the silence of those who knew things were wrong and did nothing. Because that silence is a green light and permission for those who would do harm to continue doing it, because they know you will say nothing. That empowers them more than anything. So where will you be when history is written? R.I.P. to George Floyd. R.I.P. to Breonna Taylor. R.I.P. to everybody, man. Sean Reed. This list is getting entirely too long. I was supposed to have on a guest this week. He'll definitely be on next week's show. He had to go, do some performing, and I wish him the best for that. But check out the 2 singles that I posted from the boy Teikali, Rari, and Gray, my personal favorite record off his new EP with the amazing producer Jay Banger. He'll be in the studio next week. We'll talk music. We'll have a good time. Hopefully things will be somewhat calmer next week, but unfortunately this summer is looking like it's going to be a hot one, and with all these things now in the air, we can only hope that cooler heads prevail. It's your host Phantm Phuego. Thanks so much to the team at Anchor FM. You guys are amazing in all that you do to allow us to rock. Check out his Ghetto point of view. His GHETTO point POINT of OF view VIEW, wherever you listen to your podcast. Anchor FM, of course, they're amazing. But let it tell a friend to tell a friend. It's on Spotify as well, and pretty much anywhere dope podcasts are played, you can find his Ghetto point of view, where I bring you the news, views, previews, and reviews, which with just a twist of my Ghetto point of view. It's your boy Phantm Phuego. You guys have been amazing. Support the boy Teikali. Add him to your playlist. Share his music out. Support my new single Roll It, ROLLIT. Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Audio Mac, SoundCloud, Google Play. Download it, buy it, share it, tell a friend and tell a friend. It's been a great ride with you guys this evening. Thank you so much for listening in. I'll check with you guys next week. Sundays. His Ghetto Point of View. I'm Phantm Phuego. Phantm Phuego. This is Anchor FM. I'm getting out of here. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stay well. Kiss your loved ones. Tell them you love them 1,000,000 times till they can't stand hearing it. But at least they'll know it's real. Because we never know what's going on in these days. And we don't want to regret not letting everybody know how we feel. Much love to my audience. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are awesome. Share the show out. Share the show out. Share the show out. His Ghetto Point of View every Sunday with Phantm Phuego. Easy. Peace.